Picture this moment. You're nearing the finish line of a journey that's tested everything in you, your endurance, your patience, your strength. You've climbed mountains, stumbled through valleys, picked yourself up time and again. You've sacrificed, you've celebrated, you've fought to be where you are now, and just when the end is in sight, just when peace seems finally within reach, someone steps into your path. It could be someone close, a sibling, a long-time friend, maybe even the neighbor who's always needed something. But here's the truth nobody likes to say. Now is not the time to carry someone else's baggage. You didn't come this far, push this hard, and endure this much just to be someone's safety net, or sacrifice your calm for someone else's chaos. You're not here to be anyone's emotional crutch. And you sure aren't meant to be the sponge soaking up guilt and drama that was never yours to absorb in the first place. This is your time, your chapter, your life. And believe me, there are people who will ask you for things that should never be requested. Things that slowly steal your joy, consume your time, and chip away at your sanity. And the longer you allow it, the deeper the damage goes. Have you ever felt it? That sense that you're more like a convenience store for emotions, a non-stop responder to everyone else's needs while yours get shelved and ignored. It's time to talk about what no one else is willing to say out loud. In this video, we're going to uncover the 5 things no one, no matter how close they are, should ever ask of you, especially at this stage in your life, because anything that takes away your peace of mind is too expensive a price to pay. Stick with us until the end. This could be the wake-up call that helps you finally close the door on emotional traps you never should have walked into in the first place. Number 1. When you're asked to carry what's not yours. Let's start with something you've probably experienced more than once: being asked to carry a load that was never yours to begin with. How often have you nodded yes, even when your heart whispered no? How many times have you stepped up, not because it was your responsibility, but because someone else expected you to? It always starts small, a tiny favor, a quick errand. Just this once, they say. And before you know it, you're the one propping up their entire world, while yours is quietly falling apart. Suddenly, you're not just helping, you're holding everything together. You've become the foundation of someone else's life, and they don't even realize they've handed you their house of cards. But here's the warning no one gives you. Even the strongest rope snaps when it's pulled too far. And in this case, the rope is you. You were treated like a life vest, used when the waves got rough, then expected to float everyone else to safety. But you're not a flotation device, and you're not here to keep their boat from sinking, especially if they never tried to paddle it themselves. Because what's really at stake here isn't just your time or your wallet. It's your emotional health, your sanity, your life. Every time you take on someone else's burden out of guilt or fear of being labeled selfish, you're allowing yourself to be used. And that's not love. That's exploitation. You've already given so much, raised families, held jobs, loved deeply, and made countless sacrifices. So why are you still carrying what doesn't belong to you? You're not a caregiver unless you choose to be. You're not a financial institution. You're not the default babysitter, the stand-in therapist, or the unpaid nurse. But when you say no, suddenly you're the villain. You're cold, uncaring. You get hit with judgment, guilt, and whispers behind your back. But here's a question no one asks. Who's judging them for putting you in that situation in the first place? Some people see your kindness not as a gift, but as a utility. They don't see your soul. They see your usefulness. And when they've drained you dry, they disappear until the next favor. It's like being an umbrella everyone grabs during the storm, then tosses aside when the sun comes out. You're left soaked, forgotten, and alone, while they've moved on without even saying thanks. How long will you allow that cycle to repeat? Let me tell you plainly, this isn't compassion. It's emotional manipulation. And it doesn't matter who it comes from, a son, a cousin, a friend. If it's stealing your joy, it has to stop. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to put yourself first. You're allowed to stop paying for the consequences of other people's choices. Respect starts with you, And if you don't set boundaries, no one else will. Because if you keep allowing others to pile their problems on your back, one day you'll wake up drained, invisible, and full of regret. And that is a cost you simply cannot afford. Number 2, the cost of lending more than just money. Now let's talk about something people don't like to admit: money. You're sitting there, finally having a moment of peace, maybe enjoying your morning coffee or staring out the window, grateful for a quiet day. Then the phone rings. It's someone close, someone you rarely hear from. A cousin, a grown child, an old friend. And deep down, before they even speak, you already know what's coming. They're not calling to ask how you're doing. They're calling because they need money, and not just once. It's never just once. What starts as a little help quickly becomes a bottomless well, a loan that turns into expectation, and expectation that turns into entitlement. Before you know it, you're not just handing over cash, you're handing over your peace, your trust, and your emotional security. You worked decades for stability, for this exact chapter of your life, the chapter where you finally get to breathe, but now you're risking it. For what? This isn't about turning your back on loved ones. It's about drawing the line between help and harm, because when you're constantly giving while they're constantly taking, it's not kindness anymore, it's self-sacrifice. Imagine needing that money one day, for your own health, your own crisis, but it's gone, because you gave it to someone who never thought to give it back. And what's worse? The guilt. They'll say, "But you're my father," or "If you love me, you'll help me." That's not love. That's manipulation. You're not obligated to bankrupt yourself, financially or emotionally, just to keep someone else afloat, especially if they're not trying to swim on their own. If it's not a real emergency, you have every right to say no. Your future is not a fund for other people's mistakes. Number 3, the trap of becoming the family referee. Here's another request that might hit close to home. Can you help fix this family mess? You've built your life. You've worked hard to make your home a place of love and peace. And suddenly, someone wants to drag you into a storm that isn't yours. A son calls, a daughter pleads. There's drama with your brother again. Mum, can't you talk to him? Dad, can't you fix this? And just like that, you're the referee in a fight you didn't start, and one you'll never be able to stop. You try to help. You try to mend broken bonds, but instead of bringing peace, you become the lightning rod for resentment. Now imagine something even more painful. Your children, fighting over the inheritance of the home you built with love. The very place that holds your memories now becomes their battleground. They don't see your history. They see dollar signs, and you're left helpless, watching your legacy crumble into chaos. Even with the best intentions, stepping in only adds fuel to the fire. And the emotional toll is devastating. The hard truth? You can't fix what people don't want to fix themselves, and while you're trying to be the glue, you're falling apart. This stage of life should be about peace, not playing mediator in someone else's drama. You don't owe anyone the energy it takes to mend what they continue to break. Number 4, the silent attack on your identity. Here's one of the most dangerous requests of all. When someone asks you to change who you are, it doesn't always sound aggressive. Sometimes it's subtle, disguised as jokes or concern. You shouldn't dress like that. You still listen to that old music? You're too traditional, lighten up. And just like that, they're not suggesting changes. They're erasing your identity. Every comment chips away at the unique person you've become, the stories, memories, tastes, and values that define you. Suddenly, you're made to feel outdated, embarrassing, as if you no longer belong in a world you helped shape. But let's be clear, who you are is not a mistake. It's not wrong. Your preferences, your style, your beliefs, those are treasures, not flaws. You've earned the right to be exactly who you are. You've lived, you've learned, you've sacrificed, you've grown into someone worth celebrating, not correcting. The worst part? If you give in, if you change just to please them, you may lose something you'll never get back: yourself. Authenticity is your legacy. And if someone truly loves you, they won't ask you to dim your light to fit into their comfort zone. This is your life. Live it out loud, not edited, not muted, not rewritten. Number 5, when your feelings get ranked. Second, now let's talk about emotional hierarchy. There will come a moment, if it hasn't happened already, when someone will ask you to put their emotions above your own. A child, a friend, a partner. They'll say things like, "Don't do that. It makes me uncomfortable. Just do what I'm asking. It's easier for everyone." But what they're really saying is, your happiness doesn't matter as much as mine. They want you to shrink so they can shine. They want you to fold so they can feel at ease. But why should your dreams, your needs, your choices come second? You've spent a lifetime putting others first. Now is the time to prioritize the one person who's been with you through it all, yourself. You can't keep living as a background character in someone else's story. You deserve to lead your own. Don't fall for emotional manipulation dressed up as love. True love never asks you to cancel yourself. And when you feel the guilt creeping in, remember, if they cared about your happiness, they wouldn't put you in a position to sacrifice it. Here's the bottom line. If someone asks you to carry what's not yours, if they expect you to finance their life while ignoring your sacrifices, if they pull you into conflict that only hurts you, if they criticize your identity or rank their feelings above your peace, then it's time to step back, to draw the line, to say, enough. This isn't cruelty. This isn't selfishness. This is wisdom. This is survival. This is self-respect. The peace you've built, the calm, the freedom, the stability, was earned, brick by brick, tear by tear, year by year. It is yours, and it is sacred. Don't give it away to those who only show up when they want something. Don't sacrifice it to be liked, approved of, or accepted. Don't let guilt or obligation trick you into emotional servitude. You've earned the right to live without apologies, to say no without explanation, to love yourself without compromise. If someone doesn't respect your time, your feelings, or your boundaries, then they haven't earned a place in your peace. So when the next call comes, when someone shows up with a sad story and an open hand, pause and ask yourself, are they thinking about my well-being the way I think about theirs? If the answer is no, then your decision is already made. This isn't about being hard. It's about being free. The good things in life only arrive when we make space for them. And to do that, sometimes we have to let go of the people, expectations, and demands that have kept us stuck for far too long. You are not a resource. You are not a tool. You are not a second chance for someone else's bad decisions. You are a person, with value, with dignity, and with the right to peace. This chapter of your life is not about survival. It's about joy. So protect it, live it fully, and never apologize for choosing yourself. If this message resonated with you, type the word freedom in the comments below. Let the world know you're not just surviving anymore. You're finally living.